Made it. It is Friday. Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon. MLB DFS video. It is Friday edition. We are excited. We've got some great games. We've got some great pitching matchups. If you've never been here before, hopefully you're in for a treat. We do things a little bit differently here. We are going to go through every single game. We're going to use Outlier. If you want to use the link in the description to sign up for Outlier, you're going to get a 7-day free trial. After that, if you sign up for their normal package, we're going to give you a free week of FTA Plus, which is NASCAR, MLB, PGA, MMA. You're going to get that for a week. If you sign up after 7 days with Outlier for their premium package, we're going to give you a free month. We also try to have giveaways every single day. First way, like the video, be a subscriber, and leave a comment on this video. You do all of those, and this video gets at least 50 likes, you will have a shot at a free week of FTA Plus. You do that, and this video gets 100 likes, you'll have a shot at a free month. 150 likes, a free $200 a year, 200 or more likes on this video, a chance at a $500 lifetime pass. So make sure you get in here often, you comment. Don't spam the comments, but make sure you comment on these videos. Second way to win, as long as I don't forget it, because I did yesterday, somewhere in this video there should be a keyword. If there is, listen for it, type it in, and you will have a second shot at a free week. So I did forget yesterday, completely forgot, because we had a small slate, an ugly slate with so much weather going on that it was just, I just completely forgot. So we are going to have one winner from yesterday's video because we got at least 50 likes on that video. So we're going to see who the winner is for the free pass right here. Irish Jones, congratulations. I think it's been a long time since you've won. So please email me. The email is in the description of this video along with our free Discord. And let me know that you are the 521 video views winner. And then let me know what your username is on the website. So I do have still no one's emailed me since we talked about this, but MLB pass, or a full year pass, I should say. Normally $199. If you guys email me right now, the next two people that do, you will get it for $100 off. So that's every sport for 1 year up until next May 23rd for every sport that we offer. So MLB, NASCAR, NBA next year once it comes back, NFL, PGA, and MMA. So make sure you get in there. So like I said, we're going to look at all the games that are available. And what I love about Outlier is we're going to see exactly what it is. The video is a little bit longer. You can check the chapters out instead if you want to skip around. After we go through this, I've already ran 10,000 simulations in the background. We will go over our matchup tool, which we will give you all of the batters. I have a 10 out of 10 matchup rating through 10,000 simulations. Now we do 20,000 a day, but we've done 10,000 right now for you to give you guys the matchup tool. After that, we're going to do Pitches Be Crazy for this Friday, which I'm kind of sad about because the number one pitcher for Pitches Be Crazy is going up against the Rockies, and my wife will be at this game, and it's kind of upsetting because I'm not at this game. So we're going to go through that, and then after that, we're going to do the Makin Bacon bets. So if you want to check out the Makin Bacon bets, what those are bets that we like for the slate through 10,000 sims. So we're going to look at the matchup tool. We're going to look at the weather, we're going to look at factors, everything, and then we're going to see if we can find some batters we think that could get 2+ bases on the day, and then some pitchers we think could get X amount of strikeouts for the day. So if you're ready to go, everything else you need is in the description of this video. If you want to see this article as well with some top BVP plays and some stacks that we like, make sure you give that some love. If you guys have not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button because we are here hopefully every single day that we possibly can for you. We break down things. If you can't sign up for FTA Plus, watching these videos multiple times a day, clicking on the ads, or buying some merch from us, that helps more than you know. So that being said, let's rock and roll. So again, we've got some early games. We do have some weather. Weather has been a factor the past 3 nights, I believe. And we've got some wind. We've got some ups and downs here. So if we're looking to target some games that have good matchups here, that have plus matchups for home runs, you got the Yankees at Coors Field, against the worst team ever in the history of anything, 23% chance of home runs. You got Sutter Health Park, so Philly going into a minor league stadium against the Athletics. I absolutely love that. 23% chance for home runs. Steinbrenner Field, we've got another minor league stadium here. We've got Toronto at Tampa Bay, wind is blowing out, 12% chance of, and then Great American Ballpark, you got the Cubs at the Cincinnati Reds, 13% chance of home runs, at least given odds. Then the worst chances for home runs, Fenway, Baltimore, Boston, the wind is blowing directly in. Busch Stadium, the wind is blowing directly in. Target Field, the wind is blowing directly in. Comerica, not good odds. It's very cold out there. And then PNC Park, Milwaukee at Pittsburgh. It is cold. There's a cold front going through the Midwest right now. It's here. It's been here, and it's going to affect some of the batted balls. So that is definitely some things to take into account when you're building your lineups out there. So like I said, we're going to use outlier. We're not going to cover the first game here, Baltimore at Boston. It's not on any slate. It's the makeup game that they did not play on Thursday night. Again, Baltimore and Boston, I don't think they played a game yet. I don't think they played a game in this series yet. So they have one early and then one that's on this main slate that we are going to talk about. So we're going to look at the early ones. We're going to break down a little bit and check out the games that are there. We've got the Milwaukee Brewers at the Pittsburgh Pirates. And this is, if you have never seen Outlier before, I highly suggest you check us out or check them out. I'm not part of it, but you can sign up, which will help out the channel. So in this one, we've got Freddie Peralta versus Paul Skeens. This could be a low-scoring game. The weather, could be a factor here because it is so cold. Obviously, Skeens is a stud. He's given up barely any runs. He's getting no run support here. He could give up one earned run here and could lose the game. It's a great matchup for Freddie Peralta. It's a great matchup for Paul Skeens. I want nothing to do with the pitching in this one. I'm 100% on the pitch, or want nothing to do with the bats. I'm 100% on the pitching in this one. I'm giving it to Paul Skeens first, but Freddie Peralta is in a fantastic spot because of how bad the Pirates actually are this year. So I'm not looking at the bats. If you want to, you can check out Outlier to see who's had success against Skeens, who's had success against right-handed pitching. I want nothing to do with the bats here. I am going pitching 100%. Do not overthink it. It is a great matchup there. Second game is the Cubs at the Reds. So you have Matt Boyd versus Hunter Green. The only thing the Cubs offense has been amazing. It's a perfect matchup for them in this ballpark with the wind blowing out. Matt Boyd, he's had a bounce back a year and a half, I'd say, and he's done some great things. He has not faced Cincy this year. Comes in with a 2.98 ERA. You've got Hunter Green with a 2.37. With the wind, how it is, but how cold it is, could scare me a little bit. So pitching-wise, I like both of these pitchers. I think probably they're both tournament-only pitchers because it's a small early slate, and it's weird because both offense could go off. Both pitchers have not had success against the teams really in the wind, but it's cold. So I don't know where the ball is going to go. So let's say we're not going pitching. You want to go bats here. Cubs bats. Nico Horner does have a home run against him. Suzuki has 2 against him, which would be a great spot here. Ian Happ has another one. And then we look at right-handed pitching and how they're hitting. So Miguel Amaya, 314 batting average. He can hit home runs as well. You've got Carson Kelly, who's been absolutely on fire. I would fire up Carson Kelly in this stadium. You've got Michael Busch with 7 bombs, batting 274. You got Pete Crow Armstrong batting 313 with 9 bombs. Suzuki has 7. Kyle Tucker has 6. The Cubs feel like one of those 2+ stacks for me today. So if you are new to the channel, 2+ stacks, meaning we like more than 5 players in this lineup, but that's the max amount of offensive players you can have on DraftKings, 4 on FanDuel, so you got to make multiple different stacks. So I do like the Cubs here, but I could also see Hunter Green having a good game. It's very weather dependent here. But the Cubs offense has been just so good this year. And then against Matt Boyd, the Reds have really not seen him much. Against left-handed pitching, you do have Espinal batting 311. You got Austin Hayes batting 400. Austin Wynn's batting 300. Stevenson batting 286. But they really haven't done much. They haven't done a ton there. Not a ton of home runs. Low batting average from those guys. So I think a lot of people might be on Hunter Green. We might be able to go Matt Boyd and avoid the Cincinnati Reds offense here. Get a little sneak. So we'll move on to the next game. We will look at right here, San Francisco Giants at the Washington Nationals. So San Francisco now no longer at home. They got to go back on the road. And we'll look at this. So we got Landon Roop versus Mackenzie Gore. So Gore should have pitched on, I believe, Thursday, but everything got moved. Wednesday or Thursday, and everything got moved because the weather has just been terrible the past few, 3 days, really 3 days. Mackenzie Gore, though, he comes in 3.67 ERA. He's had multiple different games with 13 strikeouts there. The Giants bats against Gore, you kind of look at this. Elliot Ramos has a home run. Wilmer Flores has a home run. This isn't as good as a pitching environment as in San Francisco, so that does give a boost to the offenses more. Against left-handed pitching, San Francisco, Sam Huff has 294 batting average. That's only 17 at-bats, though. They really haven't seen a ton. You got Wilmer Flores batting 240. You got Jung Ho Lee batting 288 with 3 bombs. Those are great odds there. You got Matt Chapman batting 286. I don't mind them, but I think Mackenzie Gore could be in store for a good game. Washington against Raup. Raup comes in, and you can just see his numbers. 4.11 ERA. The strikeouts are They're actually pretty decent, 9.2 K per 9, but he is getting hit. And then if you look against right-handed pitching, CJ Abrams batting 319 with 6 bombs. You've got Nate Lowe, who you guys absolutely know that I love, going up against right-handed pitching. Nate Lowe probably hits a home run here. There's already trade interest in him, and it's a month and a half into the season. So I do like him against righties all the time. James Wood batting 287 with 8 bombs. Like, I'm not using Raup at all. Might use a little bit of Mackenzie Gore, but I think I'd rather use the offenses in this game, and kind of there's just other pitching that we can attack a little bit. So then the first game, that's the early slate done. The first game of the main slate is Toronto at Tampa Bay. It has not been confirmed yet who the pitcher is for Toronto. Eric Lauer did pitch only 3 innings in that game on Saturday, and it was kind of the same thing. It's an opener, and then he comes in, so we don't really know. So it's really hard to look at this game and feel comfortable about it until the pitcher comes out. And Toronto's been one of those teams where the pitcher doesn't come out for a very long time during day of. So you can see 40 pitches. He's been very effective in his 4 big league appearances this season, posting blah, blah, blah. Reluctant to let him go deep into games. He's either starting but not going deep into games, or there is an opener, he's going out. I don't like that. It's very hard to figure out what he's going to do. Like how long he's going to go into the game and stuff like that. But if we look at that, like the bats that I would use against Lauer, because I just do not trust him, because then it goes to the bullpen, and their bullpen, you can look at the numbers for Toronto bullpen, but not as good. If I were to use some bats against him, Jonathan Aranda batting 310, you've got Caminero batting 230, you got Yandy Diaz batting 250, Brandon Lau batting 223, but have 7 bombs. Cameron Misner and Chandler Simpson would be the Tampa Bay bats that I'd look at. Toronto bats against Rasmussen, like you've got George Springer with a home run, but only batting 154. You've got Vladdy batting 286 with a bomb. Against right-handed pitching this year, Bo Bichette batting over 300 with 4 bombs. You've got Anthony Santander, like he is batting 192. Bad number, does hit righties better, does have 6 bombs. You could look at that. Dalton Varsho, I think, had a grand slam the other night. A cheaper option would be Miles Straw if he gets out there. And of course, you got George Springer there if you need. So I don't mind. I'm probably not using Rasmussen. I'm not using Lauer. I'd use the offenses. I think I'd probably use Toronto's offense just a little bit more. But Tampa Bay could be in store for a good game there as well. So we'll move on. We'll go to the next game. We will check it out. And hopefully it's a little bit better matchup for us. Baltimore-Boston. So this is their second game. There is weather concern yet again. So this game could get canceled as well. So Giolito was supposed to pitch the other day against them. The game got canceled. They've now moved it to the second game here. It's been a mess. You've got Giolito versus Morton. I want nothing to do with either of these pitchers. I would rather look at the offenses. Like the offenses is what I would look at. If I'm looking at, for instance, Boston, I'm looking at Bregman. I'm looking at Devers. I'm looking at Duran. Wilyer Abreu a little bit. I would definitely look there. Christian Campbell is another one. If we are looking at Baltimore, I love Cedric Mullins. He hits home runs and steals bases. I love Gunnar Henderson. He hits righties very well. Those are 2 that I'm okay with. Ryan O'Hearn and Ryan Mountcastle, I'm also looking at those. Again, though, weather being a concern, I don't know if this game gets played. It's just kind of played by ear. The weather system has been terrible. Next game, Cleveland at Detroit is where we are at. And we will dig in. So looking into this one, pitching-wise, we've got, so Ciccone was supposed to pitch the other day, then on Thursday, I believe, and then it got flipped for Tanner Bybee. So you got Ciccone versus Jackson Jobe, and just like the breakdown I had, I'm looking at the Tigers, and I'm looking at Jackson Jobe for pitching, and then the Tigers bat. So Javi Baez, Kerry Carpenter, Riley Green, Gleyber Torres, Spencer Torkelson. These are the ones I am looking at. So I would look at those guys. I want nothing to do with Ciccone. I want really nothing to do with the Cleveland Guardians bats here in this one. Detroit's just on another level right now. This was an easy game to kind of discuss. Next game is the Dodgers at the Mets. You've got Kershaw coming in versus Griffin Canning. So Kershaw, 85 plate appearances against the Mets. This isn't a great ballpark for him because it's a huge ballpark, but he did look very rusty on Saturday when he pitched. In his career, 85 plate appearances, 30.6 K percentage, 169 batting average, and 5.9 walk percentage. 209 WOBA. So these numbers are fantastic. But which are we going to see vintage Kershaw? Or are we going, especially at 8,000? I don't know if I like that. And then you got Griffin Canning, 55 plate appearances, 271 batting average, It's going up against the Dodgers. He's not really had success against them. Didn't have much going against the Yankees. And what I've told you guys in the past, when we're looking at least on DraftKings, you need a minimum of like 25 plus fantasy points or 2 to 3.5 times value their salary to make it feel worth it to take down a GPP. On FanDuel, you need 45 to 50. So it's always kind of in that realm. I don't think Griffin Canning gets it with the Dodgers, but if you want to take a little bit of exposure, you could. Now, Kershaw is great when he's on. He's got a great pitcher's ballpark here, but he only went 4 innings, gave up 5 earned runs, and only had 2 strikeouts in that game. So that kind of scares me. That kind of scares me a little. So that's kind of what I would look at there. Batting wise, like obviously, if we think the Mets, if we think it's going to be bad Kershaw, the Mets would be the stack. So Pete Alonso against the lefty. Now we'll dig in. We'll look at the numbers and see if they've had success. Mets against Kershaw, like no one's hit a home run. Against left-handed pitching, though, this year, Torrens batting 400, Acuna batting 300, Jeff McNeil batting 500, but it's only 4 at-bats. That doesn't count. You got Juan Soto batting 310, struggling with home runs and offense, but he does get on base against lefties. Brandon Nimmo batting 261, Ozakar batting 429. Like, they're there. Lindor being a switch hitter helps, batting 240. Pete Alonso actually surprises me, only batting 267 with 2 bombs against left. Dodgers against Canning, like Betts has a home run, Freeman has a home run, Edman has a home run, Teoscar has a home run. Like, I'm stacking the Dodgers. Just wait for the lineup to come out and stack the Dodgers. 9 times out of 10, it's usually going to work out for you. San Diego at Atlanta is next. So currently, Chris Sale was supposed to pitch on Thursday. It got moved, and now he's pitching here against San Diego. It should line up for Nick Pivetta. Now, it's not 100% confirmed yet, but it should. Comes in with a 2.86 ERA. So he had a bounce back game after a very bad game against Colorado, and we used him against Seattle, and it worked out for him. He is very expensive, though, especially against an Atlanta team. That kind of scares me here. And then Chris Sale comes in against San Diego, 159 plate appearances against this current roster in his career, 26.4 K percentage, 264 batting average. Lower, he's under 10 K, pitching at, when you look at his splits, he's already faced them once this year, 7 Ks, 5 innings, 15.1 fantasy points, which really isn't enough for his price. But if you look at his splits, his home splits, he is worse at home. Whether or not that's going to factor into it, I could see that. I don't know if I like pitching in this one. We might be looking at the bats. So if I'm just looking at bats for like San Diego, Tatis, Jackson Merrill, Manny Machado, I'm looking at them. I would look at cheaper options would be Luis Ariz, lefty and lefty, doesn't matter. Gavin Sheets, I don't mind. Then if it is Nick Pivetta, I don't think I want to pay up for him. If I were to use Atlanta bats, obviously I'd be looking at Matt Olson, Austin Riley. You could look at Alex Verdugo, Albies, Ozuna. Like those would be that I'd look at. I don't know if I'm going to take pitching in this one. At the moment, no. Through 10,000 sims, I don't feel like we need pitching. We've got pitching in other ones. I'd rather focus on the offenses. We just kind of got to wait for the lineup to come out. So next up, we have the Texas Rangers at the White Sox. The problem is the Rangers' offense has been trash. Just got swept by Yankees, but the White Sox obviously are a very bad team too. So we can look at this one. You've got Tyler Mahle versus Sean Burke. Mahle, 21 plate appearances against him. Really hasn't seen him much. He's actually been really good this year. A sub 1.5 ERA, 5.01 record. The problem is he needs to get run support here. That's the only difference that he might not get. Now, coming off 2 great games, did have a bad game against Boston. We do look at his splits, has not faced the White Sox this year. On the road, he's got a 2.65 ERA, so he has been worse. My only problem is, what if Sean Burke has a career game because the Rangers offense is trash? I don't think it happens, but I don't want to be surprised. They do have an over-under of 8, so it is high up there. And that's obviously going to lean more towards Texas. So Vegas, they do think Texas is going to have a good game. Against Sean Burke, no one's really seen him. Against right-handed pitching, though, this year, Barnhart batting 375. Jonah Heim might be in or out. He got injured the other day, but it was just a stinger, really, as far as I know. Josh Young batting 302 with 4 bombs. Josh Smith batting 290 with 4 bombs. Adolis Garcia, 6 bombs. Sam Haggerty, fast. I watched him steal some bases against the Yankees. You got speed there. And another one I would use would be Wyatt Langford. White Sox bats against him, I'm not looking at White Sox. In this game, I'm looking at Tyler Mahle, and I'm looking at the I'm looking at the Rangers offense over anything else. So next game we've got on the docket here, Seattle, Houston. If it'll click. Okay, so we've got Emerson Hancock versus Ryan Gusto. Not really sure. He comes in 4.65 ERA, splits-wise, home games, 7 games played, 5 starts at home. All of his starts have come at home. Got a 5.68 ERA. Now he's going up against the Mariners. He has not really had a good game. He's -3. Like, they've been bad. He has not gone deep into games. Who knows? He's gonna he is getting a start here because they're injured. He has not done anything with those except for 1 game against Toronto, half a game against Detroit, a little bit of Minnesota. I'm not on Gusto at all. Emerson Hancock comes in 6.21 ERA. Hasn't done anything. He's looked bad just as well. If we're looking at this game, I would focus on the offenses. I don't think that should be a surprise. I'm not going pitching in this one. I don't even think I'd feel comfortable looking at GPP. I mean, they're both under 6,300. I don't trust that whatsoever. So if we are looking at bats against him, really not seen him, but against right-handed pitching this year, Cal Raleigh with 10 bombs, I'm all in on that. Jorge Polanco with 10 bombs, batting .312. Rowdy Tellez could be a cheap option. J-Rod could be a cheap option. Arozarena, JP Crawford, all of these guys make a ton of sense here. So I would look at that side. But if we're looking at Houston, against Hancock, they've really not seen him. Against right-handed pitching, though, they've hit pretty well against right-handed pitching. So the one bats I would be using for here, Yonder Diaz. Paredes has been absolutely on fire in this ballpark. Pena, batting .308 with 5 bombs. You got Christian Walker. You got Jose Altuve. Jake Myers. Like, there's a ton to like here. I'm more leaning towards the Astros as a stack, but I think this could be a high-scoring game. And Vegas right now has it over-under of 8.5. I think the over hits in this one. And that's kind of where I'd look at here. I don't trust the pitching. I'd rather more focus on the bats than anything else here. Kansas City at Minnesota is the next game. Got Noah Cameron versus Pablo Lopez. So Cameron comes in, 1-1 record, .71 ERA. He's done very well in his 2 starts. Has not faced Minnesota this year. They are without their 2 big bats, really. So tournaments at 8,500, I'm okay with. And then you got Pablo Lopez. In his career, 135 plate appearances against this Kansas City team, 206 batting average. Lopez comes in, 27.1 against Milwaukee, down 1 against San Francisco. Great game against Baltimore, and it just kind of goes like that. He's already faced Kansas City once this year, only went 4.2 innings. I don't know why. 6 Ks, 3 hits allowed, no earned runs. How many pitches? Was he just up there in pitches? 78. I mean, it was early in the season. Got 20 plus out of them. That was in Kansas City, which is a pitcher's ballpark. But I think I'd rather take Pablo Lopez here. At least for cash, Noah Cameron can be for tournaments. But if you wanted to check this out, like batting-wise on both sides, we can take a look at that. But before we get in there, keyword of the day. You guys know it. It's Friday. You guys already know. So Kansas City bats against Pablo Lopez. You got Biggio with a home run. I wouldn't use him. Perez, been very iffy this year. Does have a home run against him, though. Michael Garcia has one. Bobby Witt has one. Mark Canha has one. So they've done well against right-handed pitching this year. Like Garcia bat .314. Bobby Witt bat .294. Kyle Isbell bat .303. Drew Waters .294. These are the bats I would use, but I'm probably leaning more towards Pablo Lopez than anything else. Minnesota bats against Cameron, never faced him before. Against lefties, though, they're actually doing really well. Is Correa still on the IL, or are they? Let's see. Correa on the IL to win. Oh, so he will get it. He will get activated. So it's 7 days is done. So Correa's back. As long as he's good to go and starts and doesn't have any issues or anything, he's batting .391 against lefties this year. So that's a huge bat right there that I didn't know would be back. Byron Buxton. Is Buxton going to be back or no? Oh, so he's further behind. Of course he is, because why wouldn't he be behind when he's hurt? He's always hurt. So Buxton's out. So Correa being back could be an option, a great option there, especially against lefties. And then you could look at maybe a Jonah Bride. You could look at Cody Clemens if he gets a start. I don't mind them, but there's none at the moment through 10,000 sims. None of those just jump out Yeah, I'm probably looking at pitching more. I do think Pablo Lopez is your cash option. I think Noah Cameron's probably more of your tournament. So the next game we're going to cover, we got Arizona at St. Louis. And again, weather should be good. It's been a little bit since we've had good weather for this game. But Zach Gallen versus Mikolas. Gallen comes in, 5.14 ERA. Really, like, it's so weird to see how bad he's been. Has not done good the past 2 games. Had 2 games against the Mets. He just dominated for whatever reason. Now he goes up against St. Louis. In his career, 47 plate appearances, a 325 batting average against him. Like, I know that he's a stud and he has great stuff. He just hasn't shown it this year, and I don't know what's going on. And then you got Mikolas coming in. 47 plate appearances, 256 batting average there. He comes in, 377 ERA. Did have a great game against Kansas City, and we used him against Kansas City. Great game there. But then, in a good game against Washington, but then you've got that 2.5 there. You look at splits. When he's at home, he's got a 4.7 ERA, so it has been a little bit bad, and Arizona's offense is good. So I'm probably avoiding the pitching in this one. I'm probably going the bats. So we look at this, and that's kind of what it is. Offensively is what we're looking at. Is against Mikolas, like Eugenio Suarez has 2 home runs. Obviously, he's really boomer bust with home runs this year. But I would use Ketel Marte. I would use Josh Naylor, Suarez, Corbin Carroll, Pavin Smith. Those would be the ones that I'd focus on. And Lourdes Gurriel Jr. if you're trying to get a full stack. St. Louis against Gallen, like Arenado with a home run, Gorman with a home run, and Newt Bar all have home runs. Against right-handed pitching, though, Herrera, 429. Could be a cheap option. I don't think a lot of people will be on. Today is King of the Diamond, where you take the home runs, and if you didn't see it, and what that is on DraftKings is you choose who you think is going to hit a home run, and then if they hit it and it's the highest scoring game, you get a share of the money. And I think 20 people had it on Tuesday, and they shared $83,000 a piece in bonus bets, which is wild. Wild. I can't even imagine. So if you pick any of those, Pedro Pajes was the winner for them the other day. But like Alec Burleson batting 304, Donovan batting 365, Wynn batting 319, Newt Bar 258, Victor Scott 311. All of these are great. I'm probably stacking in this one. I think I'm going to stack Arizona a little bit more, but the Cardinals make a ton of sense for me as well. Next game, Yankees at the Rockies. Clark Schmidt versus Blaylock. It's Clark Schmidt and then stack the Yankees. The lineup that comes out really doesn't matter. I love them in this matchup. They're going to be very expensive. Like Judge is coming in at $7,000. But yeah, Judge, Rice, Bellinger, every single one in this lineup, I'm in on. I would look at Clark Schmidt. I'm not looking at Colorado, and my wife will be at this game, so I've got to get exposure to this game regardless. Don't overthink that game. Colorado's very bad. Miami at LA is the next game. If we look at this one, we've got Alcantara, who's been very bad. I don't understand. He's got an 8 ERA. I thought maybe he'd have a good game against Tampa Bay, but no, he gave up 4 earned runs, 3 Ks. Strikeouts sometimes are there and sometimes they're not. He is going up against the Angels. The Angels do strike out the second most out of any team, but he just looks so bad. He's 7,700. I don't know why he's looked so bad. I don't trust him. I can't trust him. At 7,700, maybe, but on the road, he's got a 14 ERA. I don't trust him at all, and they're going across the country. And then Kikuchi coming in, coming off great game against the Dodgers, which we used him against the Dodgers because he was such a cheap option. Like, that's kind of what you look at. Miami, in his career, 10 plate appearances, really hasn't seen them. If I'm looking at bats in this one, we can look. It's hard to say. Miami against lefties, like none jump out. Wagaman jumps out, but that's like it. Angels bats against Alcantara. Darno has a home run. That is it. Against righties this year, Moncada batting 246, Nito batting 291, leading off I love. Shanawell batting 296, Soler 243, Taylor Ward, Joe Adell. Those would be the ones I'd look at. I'm avoiding the pitching in this one. I'm just avoiding it completely. Then we've got our final game. We got Philly at the Athletics. The wind blowing out and being a minor league stadium. It should be Jeffrey Springs. I'm all in right now on Zach Wheeler. 35 plate appearances against the A's in his career. 25.7 K percentage, 182 batting average. Sign me up with Zach Wheeler. He is expensive at $11,000, which is wild considering the weather in this one. And then I'm looking at the Phillies offense. So wait for the Philly offense to come out, but Turner, Castellanos, Johan Rojas, Schwarber, Harper, like you know the guys. Brandon Marsh could be a cheap option. So I am stacking Philly, and I am stacking Zach Wheeler with. So there you have it. That is the breakdown of the early slate and the main slate all completed for you. We are now going to give you all of the batters that have a 10 out of 10 matchup rating through 10,000 simulations. Now, these will change throughout the week, so definitely make sure you're checking it out. But as of right now, here we go. Number 1 is Wyatt Langford. Number 2 is Adolis Garcia. Number 3 is Cal Raleigh. 4 is Jorge Polanco. 5 is Christian Walker. 6 is Jonah Heim, if he's in there. He has not been ruled out yet, but he has a great matchup. 7 is Isaac Paredes. I love that matchup for him. 8, Rafi Devers. 9, Lindor. 10, Soto. 11, Betts. 12, Nolan Schanuel. 13, Higashioka. Would really probably DH or only start if Heim is out. 14, Jake Berger. 15, Eugenio Suarez. 16, Gunnar Henderson. 17, Brandon Nimmo. 18, Ryan O'Hearn. 19, Yanner Diaz. And 20, Adley Rutschman. So those are through 10,000 sims. They will change throughout the day. So I usually tell people come back and check out everything in the afternoon, about like an hour or two before first pitch of the main slate, and we'll have it up. So pitches be crazy. We've got number 1, Clark Schmidt at Colorado. Colorado strikes out 9.8 times per game, 9.42 at home. Sandy Alcantara at the Angels. Angels strike out 9.79 times per game, 9.95 at home. Problem is, Alcantara has been very bad. Number 3 is Charlie Morton at Boston. Weather concern, and Morton's been bad this year. 9.12 K per game for Boston, 8.27 at home. I don't trust that. Matt Boyd at Cincy. Cincy, 8.96 Ks per game, but only 8.16 at home. And then Brian Bayo versus Baltimore. Baltimore strikes out 8.96 times per game, 9.04 on the road. So, ones we're looking at, number 1, Clark Schmidt. Number 2, Sandy Alcantara. Number 3, Charlie Morton. 4, Matt Boyd. And 5, Brian Bayo. Now, we're going to look at bases. As of right now, the number 1 game for total bases, Orioles at the Red Sox. But I'm looking at batters that have a 10 out of 10 matchup rating that I think could get 2+. And I'm not saying parlay all these together, but you could look at some of them. Number 1, I'm looking at Kerry Carpenter. Number 2, I'm looking at Gunnar Henderson. 3, Alex Bregman. 4, Christian Walker. 5, Adley Rutschman. 6, Wilyer Abreu. 7, Rafi Devers. As you can see, all Baltimore, Boston. Huge there. Next, I would look at Shohei Ohtani. Jorge Polanco versus Gusto. Lindor versus Kershaw. And finally, I'm looking at Isaac Paredes versus Emerson Hancock. Now, you've got those. You can use them. You can parlay them together. You can do like 3 together. Maybe you do single bets. However you go on to build your bankroll. Those are ones I'd look at for bases. And then looking for strikeouts. These are lines. Now, depending on the book you're on, you might not find these lines. But I'm looking at Mackenzie Gore. If we can find a line for 6+ strikeouts or even put it up to 7+, I'm okay with that. Hunter Green versus the Cubs with the wind and everything blowing in. I'm looking at 6+ strikeouts there. Matt Boyd versus the Reds, 6+ strikeouts. Paul Skeens versus the Brewers, 6+ strikeouts. Freddie Peralta versus Pittsburgh, 6+ strikeouts out of him. And then finally, if you can find a line here, Jackson Jobe versus the Guardians, 4 to 5 strikeouts against that. So there you have it. That is your Friday edition. Hopefully you guys have a fantastic Friday, DFS-wise, sports betting-wise. MLB, if you're playing PGA, second round. If you're getting ready for NASCAR and MMA this weekend, we've got you covered. So check out everything on the website, FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. Good luck, and as always, let's bring home some bacon. Peace!